Yo dudes! Welcome to Easy Vegan Brownie. So this is an incredible fudge brownie. Fudge brownie meaning it draws the line between fudge and chocolate cake. This is pushing the boundaries where it's almost fudge. It's it's delicious, and it's easy to follow. It's a great one to do with your kids. If you've never baked before, this is really simple and easy. Stephen's much more of a baker than me, so he's actually gonna do this. I'm gonna ask all the questions that I think you might ask. I'm much less of a baker, so we're gonna try to make this as simple and straightforward as possible. It's vegan, it's easy to make, and the best thing about making a brownie is you get to eat them after. Okay, right. First step, vegan egg. We have 1.5 tablespoons of ground flaxseed. Vegan egg, okay. Yep. So I have 1.5 tablespoon of ground flax. I'm putting 4.5 tablespoons of water in it. So this just works like an egg, like it's literally, how does it work like an egg? So it emulsifies, it coagulates, and it's gonna function as our binder. Right now it looks soupy. So what an emulsifier means is that it's gonna enable the connection between water-soluble solution and a fat-soluble solution. So it has two endings, one end that joins with water and another ending that joins with fat and holds them together. So that's what the flax does. Anyway, works like an egg, perfect, delicious, makes the brownie. Okay, next step, in a mixing bowl or a lovely white jug like this, we have 200 grams of white flour? Yes. Okay. Use gluten flour if you're celiac, or use buckwheat flour. Gluten flour or gluten-free flour? Gluten-free flour. So how much? 350 grams? 200 grams. 200 grams of regular white flour? Yeah. Okay, cool. I don't need to sieve it, no, nothing like that? You could sieve it if you want a lighter brownie, but we want a fudgy brownie. Okay, rising age, and we're gonna go with a little bit of baking powder, so about 1 teaspoon of baking powder. So, could I use baking soda or baking powder? Baking powder. Baking soda requires an acid bake. We don't really want acid. We want this to be a sweet brownie. Okay, so just baking powder. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Pinch of salt. Next step, I have 125 grams of coconut sugar. If you don't have coconut sugar, use brown castor sugar. And if you don't have that, use any type of sugar. Okay, cool. Wow, geez, the egg is already, look, just to show you, it's already glooping right up. And by the time it's showtime, it should be properly gloopy. Cool. Okay, give that a nice mix. Yes, sir. So all I've got is the sugar, I've got the baking powder, and I've got the white flour, isn't that right? And the salt. And the salt, okay, yeah. Salt is essential. So we're mixing it through here, ensuring there are no lumps. Okay, so now do I make a well? Make a well in the middle. So that just means make a hole. As you can see, I'm literally just making a hole in the middle. Well is a fancy term for just making a hole in the middle, where water goes. Okay, I've 80 ml of non-dairy milk. I'm using soy milk, use oat, almond, rice, or whatever you have. Then I have 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract. Could I use vanilla essence if I didn't have extract? Yeah, grand. Yeah. And if I didn't have it, could I just leave it out? Leave it out, yeah. Okay, cool. Good job. Fine. You want to add the vegan egg? Okay, so vegan egg. So here we go. So this was, as you remember, 1 to 3, 1 part flax to 3 part water. So see the way it really has kind of glooped right up now. So this, as Stephen said, is going to be an emulsifier that will enable the scaffolding of our brownies. Scaffolding? Well, like the structure, the holding together. Structure. Next step, we're gonna add in our fat. We have 125 ml of melted coconut oil. If you don't have coconut oil, you could use sunflower oil, groundnut oil, any type of a neutral tasting oil. So coconut oil is solid at room temperature because it's predominantly a saturated fat, meaning that it's gonna be more fudgy and just more like, incredible. Now I have 300 grams of dark chocolate. I went with 55% cocoa solids. This is melted dark chocolate. Melted dark chocolate. So, if you want your brownies to be more bitter or bittersweet, go with 70%, even 80, 90% cocoa solids. So 55 meaning that it's 45% sugar. 30 meaning it's 70% sugar. So find where you're happy. I've gone with 55%. And how do I melt my chocolate? Just go with an indirect heat source. Either do it in a bain-marie, or if you don't have such a simple saucepan, just do it in a microwave. So bain-marie is just putting a pot of boiling water and putting a metal bowl like that over the top of it, or a glass bowl. So I'll just mix and stir it all together now. Beautiful, yeah. Yeah. Wow, pretty simple. Okay, best thing about a vegan brownie is you can taste the batter. There's no egg in it. So you can actually, that's just, it's so rich. Okay, this is a framework for a chocolate fudge brownie. If anyone wants to learn more about framework style cooking, check out our Ultimate Vegan Cooking course, or else you can pre-order a book where it's all a framework approach to cooking. So in the framework on the book, we'll have fudge brownie, hazelnut fudge brownie, blondie, and it'll also have can't remember the other one, but it just shows you how brownies work together, and once you understand the grammar of it, it's easy to recreate your own. What do you mean by grammar? As in, you will learn that typically a brownie will be about a 30% fat content, 30% starch content, 30% sugar content, and about 10% flavor agents. And through doing that, you can incorporate it. If you prefer a cakey brownie, you'll reduce the fat content to around 15%, versus if you prefer super fudgy, you can bring it up to 35%. Okay, so we've taken a small brownie tray or flapjack tray. I think it's 30 by 20 centimeters, is it?
Yeah.
We lined it with baking parchment so it's easy to take out. We preheated the oven to 160 degrees and we're gonna bake it for about 30 minutes. Every oven will be slightly different. The thing to note is put the skewer in and make sure it comes out almost clean, but not quite. And the beautiful thing about a vegan brownie batter is, oh my God.
I want to spin. So rich, you can just eat a roll of that.
Incredibly indulgent, wow. So one of the hardest things about making a brownie is you have to leave it cool until it's properly cool before you cut it. Because if you cut it when it's still hot, it's gonna crumble, it's gonna fall apart, and you're just gonna drive yourself mental. Can I put it in the fridge to cool or what? Initially let it cool at air temperature. Once it has kind of come down, then you can put it in the fridge.
Okay.
But once it does cool fully, it means the saturated fat in the oil or coconut oil is gonna become a lot more rigid and it's actually gonna look like fudge. So just to show you here, it draws the line between fudge and brownie. Let me just. If you do make these, please tag us on social media and Instagram because we genuinely love to see how you did and how you got on with it.
Like, it's so rich, deep in flavor. The chocolate note is so pronounced. It doesn't taste too sweet. Like, it is excellent. To me, that is a near perfect brownie. Please do make it. Tag us on Instagram or any of the social media platforms. And if you do want to learn more about how to cook with frameworks, check out our Ultimate Vegan Cooking course, or else you can pre-order our book, which is our best book yet.
Brilliant.
Thanks for
watching.
watching.
Cheers.
Bye.